I am Devil Driven, and welcome to Team Leviathan Gaming's Starter Deck Budget Guide for Monsters. Before we jump into the video, the crafting guide and starter deck upgrades were written and created by fellow Team Leviathan Gaming members Nimrafel, Hippopotamus, and Wasubi. All information in greater detail can be found at teamleviathangaming.com/crafting. If you're watching this video, you're probably new to Gwent. Welcome. Gwent is an amazing game, and CDPR is the most generous company when it comes to collectible card games. If you played Gwent during its beta phase, welcome back. I've listed a number of resources below, including the TLG Discord, where teammates and community members will gladly help you. So this is the budgeted TLG list for monsters. The leader that we chose, we went with Gwent. To unlock Gwent, you're going to need 15 reward points. You spend those reward points in the story section of the beginning of the game. At the bottom left corner, there's a little book. You click on that, and then in the far upper right corner, there is a tab that shows you a little Thronebreaker icon, and then in there you spend those 15 reward points to unlock Gwent. If you're a little short on reward points and you haven't created your account yet, I included a friend request link that you can use. You'd have to start your account over, but you would get 15 reward points right off the bat from me. You're welcome. If not, you just need 15 reward points, easily attainable in Gwent. But this is what's considered a Thrive deck in Gwent, where you're playing smaller units first, and as you play units larger, the Thrive units grow by 1. And if your opponent isn't removing your Thrive units, it can get out of hand really quick. Gwent's ability automatically synergizes with the Thrive ability because you always want to play her leader ability at the beginning of turn if you haven't played the fruit, or if the fruit got removed. So you play the fruit, you play something bigger than 1. The fruit grows every time you play something bigger than it. Really great ability. So let's go through the cards. We have Okvist in here again. If you watched the Skellige video, Okvist is just a really nice splashable card. If you could play it at the end of round 3, second to last card, it can be a huge swing play in your favor because he hits every unit by 1. Just a really great card, and he's a nice craft because you can pretty much put him in every deck, especially when you're first starting out. If they don't have the answer for Okvist and you're going into a long round, you're going to probably win the game because you're going to hit your opponent for anywhere from 8 to 10 points on their side. So Okvist plays for like 15 points, which is really, really good. Other cards, once again, Cleaver. Cleaver is just a really nice, versatile card. He damages a unit for every card you have in hand. As we mentioned in the Skellige video, if your opponent is playing first, they play an engine and bump that up with tactical advantage. It goes up to 9. Cleaver can kill that card in one play because you have 10 cards in hand and you play Cleaver, you have 9 cards left. He hits that 9 strength unit and your opponent is in big trouble because they just wasted their tactical advantage and an engine, and now they have nothing on their board. Cleaver is just amazing. You have to remember too that he only has 2 reach, so if it's something in the melee row or the ranged row of your opponent, you have to play it on your melee row. We transferred over Dora Gary from one of the other lists. He's just a nice card. It's nice to always have a lock. There's always going to be an engine. He's pretty much always going to find a value. Worst case scenario, he can activate one of your ghouls after you play him in another round. That's kind of like low ceiling, but he's also 5 strength, so he also generates points through Thrive. So he's just a really nice engine, enabler with the Thrive units. We have the Ice Giants in here. Now these serve two purposes. One, you're playing them, and then next turn they're activating the Thrives, so the lower strength units that have Thrive are going to bump up. You're going to be able to enable your ghouls, which eat a unit out of your graveyard, so that your ghouls end up playing for 8 strength and then enabling your Thrive. They also too enable cards that have dominance, like Wild Hunt Riders and Wild Hunt Hounds and Navigators, all of which you have to have the highest strength unit on the board in order for these cards to work. And your Griffins and your Ice Giants are going to help that out greatly, because most of your average cards are like 4 or 5 points, and they're engines. These cards are just straight bombs that have, a big body on them. So you're going to get that dominance and be able to play your Wild Hunt Riders, your Wild Hunt Hounds, your Navigators. Just really, really great. We added the Griffins. Now, the reason why we went with Gurnicorna is mostly this card right here. You play Gurnicorda's ability, the fruit, which you always play Gurnicorda's ability if the fruit isn't already on the board. You play it, then you play the Griffin. You play the Griffin right next to the fruit. Just make sure that you don't play Griffin on an empty board. Your opponent is going to laugh at you. He destroys himself if there's no other units on the board. But if you play the fruit, then you play the Griffin, you're able to get a 7-point play, and then you can respawn your fruit again next turn to start enabling more Thrive. Just a really, really great card. Parasite's in here as well. It's a nice answer. It's a nice boost. It can let you get dominance so that you can have your Wild Hunt Riders get out, or get your 3 damage from your Wild Hunt Hound, or your Navigator boost. Or you could just use it as 6 damage. There might be an engine on the board. They might play a Svalbard Priest. It's going to get bumped up to 5 after it plays for 1 turn. You hit that, it's dead. And it's a nice removal tool. Really, really great card. And then we also added in 1 Drowner just for movement. It's a Thrive unit as well. +2, it helps set up your Lacerate. Really great card. So the way the deck functions is you play your fruit in a dream scenario, then you play your Neckers, then you play an Arachnospore or a Drowner or a Navigator. You don't really want to bump up your lower Thrive units because you want to keep bumping them up through playing large cards. But you could play like your Hounds or your Riders. Then you can play your Alpha Werewolf, which also has Thrive and is immune. Then you play, say, Nithral or an Ice Giant. You want to go from lowest to highest numbers if possible. If there's something on the board that you need to get rid of, you might want to do that first. But the steamroll effect that a Thrive deck has, if your opponent doesn't bleed you, meaning if they win round 1 and you go into round 2 and they start playing their cards, you're even really not that sad about it, because you also have Ghouls and Ozrol in your deck to where they can eat old spear tips and everything else that, you have a ramp to your deck, and you also have bombs to your deck with, your Ghouls and Ozrol. Really, really, it's a really easy deck to play, and it's also very, very strong. But that's the budgeted list for Monster. Check out Team Leviathan Gaming for updated meta snapshots and deck guides. Check this channel every day for videos, and Monday for Ladder Leverage, where I play with one of the TLG pros. Good luck, guys, and thanks for watching.